Hi, this is Jack from Hockey Alley. I'm here with NHL player from the New York Islanders, Hubie Mcdonough. How are you, Hubie?
I'm doing fine, thanks, Jack.
Yeah, thank you. Are you still involved with the hockey?
No, I've actually been out for 2 years now.
Oh,
Since
wow.
the pandemic,
Yes.
I came back to New Hampshire. I was in California with the Ontario Reign and came back, scouted for a couple of years, and the pandemic hit, and there were no games to watch. And
Wow.
the Kings didn't renew my contract after that, and they went in a different direction. So I got my real estate license, trying to do that, do a little painting on the side, and I helped coach. I was an assistant coach on a high school team last year. Just volunteered.
Oh, nice of you. Nice to give back to the kids. We ran paths in the training camp in 1995. I seen you there, but we never really talked. You know, we were in the training camp and for about a week and a half, what it was, but we never really talked. You know, I think we're on the opposite teams. Yeah.
Was that in San Diego or
L.A.?
L.A.
Yeah.
The Ice Dogs.
Yes, Ice Dogs. Correct.
Ice Dogs.
IHL.
It was the first year of the Ice Dogs.
It was the first year, inaugural year. That's correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. As an interesting story about you, how you made it to the NHL. I'm very fascinated looking back at your statistics, and it's amazing what you've gone through. What path did you take to make it?
Well, just started playing youth hockey, and then I played high school hockey, went to prep school for a year, and then off to college. Actually, my break came by playing in a summer league down in Massachusetts.
Oh.
And former coach, GM, and man about hockey, Rick Dudley.
Oh, I've heard of him.
He spotted me playing down in a summer league, and I got to go to. I tried out in New Haven that year, but then I went to Flint, Michigan, in the IHL at the time. And the Spirits, exactly.
Yes.
He was the coach. He was the coach of that team, and he really gave me my start. And through my first 3 years, the year in Flint, and then I went to New Haven the next year, and then the third year I played, I was in New Haven. Rick Dudley became the coach in New Haven.
Oh, nice.
And he just, we hit it off. He liked me, and he played me, and I was fortunate. I stayed healthy, and I got a chance to play in the NHL that year, a couple of games.
That's awesome.
And then the next year, my first year, I went to LA, and we went to the finals with New Haven that year and lost the Adirondack. And that kind of propelled me to get an opportunity the next year to start with the Kings.
Yes. When you were in... sorry, go ahead.
No, go right ahead.
I want to ask you, so when you were playing college hockey, did you ever think that you'd be in the NHL? Coming from... It was Division II at the time. They had 3 divisions.
Right. That's a very good question. Everybody has a dream of wanting to play.
Yes.
But it's really, you got to be lucky a little bit. Stay healthy.
Yes.
Have the right people in your corner to give you an opportunity, and then you got to make the most of it when you can. And I was able to do that. And I didn't stay in the NHL my whole career. Obviously, at the end, I was back down in the minors, but I got to live the dream I was dreamed of as playing in my driveway as a kid. So I feel very fortunate to play the games that I did.
It's amazing. You were a hell of a player. I remember skating out there with you. You could skate. Was that?
Well, I was little, so I had to skate.
I think you're taller than me. 5'10", maybe. No. I don't remember.
That's maybe be stretching at the 5'10", but
yeah. So who was your idol growing up? Did you have like a mentor or an idol that you looked up to?
Yeah, Bobby Orr was the guy around here. Early '70s, the 2 Stanley Cups, and the famous goal. I was only 7 or 8 at the time. Right, 70, wow. So Bobby Orr, the Big Bad Bruins, Espo and Cashman and Hodge and Jerry Cheevers,
Hall of Famers,
all those guys.
Hall of Famers, yeah.
Right. So that was when hockey really took off here in the Northeast. They built all these rinks, and Massachusetts was just spitting out hockey players left and right at that time.
Wow.
As it progressed. So, yeah, it was Bobby Orr.
That's awesome.
I still got a picture of him right here. I'm looking at it now.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, he's amazing. So you came to LA the first year, 88, 89, when Wayne got traded to LA. Did you play an opening night by any chance? Were you there in opening night?
I That was his first year. I got called up later in the year.
Oh, later in the year. Okay.
Yeah, the next year I made the team out of camp. It was
nice.
his second year at that time.
Oh, okay.
His first year I just went to camp.
Oh, okay. So who were your line mates when you played with the Kings the first year and then the second year? Who were the guys that you played with most? On which line was it?
I played with Jimmy Fox.
Okay.
And I would kind of. It was a little bit weird. Sometimes they would be shadowing Wayne.
Yes.
So he would jump out and then he would come off and then I would go out. So it was a mixture of different players. I played with Bob Kadalski.
Okay.
Who had a nice career. I played with him in New Haven and then there. I can't remember Jimmy Fox, like I said.
Yeah, he was awesome. Fox was fast.
I was only there for 22 games. I got traded to the Islanders.
Yes.
Right at the beginning, right at Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
So
it's a big change.
A big change.
Yeah.
Playing there was great though. I really enjoyed it, and again, I feel fortunate to have played there with Larry Robinson and Bernie Nichols and Dave Taylor and Bubba Beck. All these guys, all these veterans. Incredible.
So
Tommy
having
Laidlaw.
Who else?
Tommy Laidlaw.
Oh, Laidlaw, the defenseman.
Yeah.
So having Wayne Gretzky in the dressing room, what was it like? Was he? Were there high expectations from the players? Did Wayne Gretzky expect a high expectation out of everybody?
Yeah, he's not a real vocal. He wasn't a rah-rah guy. He just went out and did his. You just let him do what he's going to do, but everybody had expectations to win every game. That's what you try to do. And I think it was 2 years later that they went to the finals.
Yes,
it was 94 maybe was it, or 93, 94?
Yeah, against Montreal.
Yeah.
That's
right. And I was with the Islanders at that time.
At that time,
but it took a couple of years to get all the pieces in place and. Then Bernie Nichols had an unbelievable year, 70 goals.
Yes.
Gretz's, yeah. So they had a pretty good team and won the Western Conference.
Bernie Nichols was awesome. I think he still holds a record for 70 goals with the Kings. I don't think anybody will break that for the Kings.
That's gonna be tough. I mean, Luke was there. Luke Robitaille scored a lot of goals for the Kings too, and nobody got 70.
No, you guys. They had a tough team too. A lot of tough guys were on the team. McSorley, Jay Miller.
Jay Miller, McSorley.
Baumgartner.
Bomber. He's the one I got traded to the Islanders with.
Right?
You
two went to. Oh, that's right. Yeah.
For Mikko Makela.
Oh,
myself and Bomber.
Okay, so that was that's a big change to go to the East Coast. So who was the toughest opponent you played against all the years in the NHL? Who would you say would be like the toughest to get around, like shadow, or if they shadow you or?
Well, I didn't. Well,
Islanders or Kings.
I was more of a defensive player in the NHL. I wasn't a scorer. I was in the AHL. It's a different role I had to play in.
Yes.
And then I got Mario one night when I was with the Islanders, trying to stay with him, and he's a big man.
Yes.
Brett Hull a different night. He can score from standing on his head, and he doesn't need much room.
No.
But it's tough to just pick one. There's so many great players that you play against. Every night you got to be on. It's just
it's NHL. It's the highest
league.
It's the
NHL. It's the best guys in the
Who?
world.
Which great goalie have you faced, and which goalie did you score on the best that you've, in your opinion, as far as?
Well, I got to score on Ron Hextall. That was because then I got to work with him later on. I scored one on him, and then I got to score on Patty Roy.
Really?
Hall of Famer too. Yeah. In Montreal.
Oh man.
That was a good one.
One of the greatest of all time.
But just scoring on any goalie in the NHL was fun. But I scored on Patty when he was young.
Yeah. So then you went to the Islanders. Who did you play there with? And it was a bigger role for you, correct?
I did get. You know what? My first year there, I played with Donnie Maloney.
Okay.
And he was really the key. He was a really, really smart, good hockey player, kind of at the end of his career. And we played on the fourth line together with either Brad Lauer or Mick Makota. Mick Makota was a real tough kid.
Yeah, I've heard of him.
And we had a lot of success. We not only didn't get scored on, we pumped in some goals too. They were big goals for the team, and we went on a great run, made the playoffs on the last day of the season, and then ended up getting beat by the Rangers in the first round. But that was really my best year, 91, 92 was it? No, 89, 90.
89, 90, okay.
Yeah, I got traded and went there, and we went on a run and made the playoffs. And but Donnie Maloney, I'd have to give him a lot of credit for my success with the Islanders there.
That's awesome. Would you say he was the mentor of the team that everybody looked up to, or was it someone else?
He wasn't really. Patty LaFontaine was there, and we had a lot of good veteran leaders, such Pat Flatley, Glenn Healy in the net. But Patty really kind of stirred the drink. He could go, and he goes. Brett Sutter. Brett Sutter was probably the. I don't want to leave him out. He was really a good mentor for everybody. He was probably the leader right there. Yeah, Brett.
What about Al Arbor? Was he coaching at the time, or was it a different?
Yeah, Al Arbor was the coach too.
Oh wow!
Yes.
You got to.
You listen when he talked.
Was he very strict, or did he kind of give you guys the free light to go? And like green light to move in and do what you want, take risk, or was he very defensive minded?
No, he would let those guys, Patty and Brett and those guys, they knew, they'd been around, so he knew what they could do, and he was a veteran coach, obviously. So he would keep a rein on the younger guys. I wasn't a young guy, but I was a young player at the NHL. And we had to fit into where he wanted us to fit in.
Yeah. It's just he like putting a puzzle together. He's got everybody that.
Right.
That guy's a
and
genius
you gotta know your
too.
role. Right. Know your role.
Yeah.
Know your role.
I would have loved to experience a play for Al Arbor or Scotty Bowman. These are the two that probably would love to had them be my coach just to experience that. I would be an honor even in the practice. Did you have any game preparations that you could share with the kids? Because I have a lot of kids that listen to my channel, and I have a lot of hockey fanatics that are fascinated with the game on a collectible standpoint, like they collect sticks and cards and jerseys. There's a lot of those guys listening, and there's a lot of kids that don't get to hear what they hear on the TV is different. So I'm kind of doing a different. Is there any kind of that preparation that you did was different than anybody else's pregame? All that.
Yeah, I don't. Everybody's. It's kind of a standard thing. You go home, you go into the morning skate, and then whether you're on the road or at home, it's a different story. But if you're at home, you go in, your morning skate, you go home, have your lunch, whatever it is. Most of the guys, it's pasta. Everybody wants to have their pasta. They get their carbs. And then take a little nap and then make sure you're in there a couple hours, 2.5 hours before the game, and then you tape your sticks up and do your stretching. Things were just evolving then.
Yes.
You didn't show up at camp to get in shape. You came in shape, and that was kind of a new thing for everybody at that time.
Yeah. The money got better too. The money got better, right? Yeah.
The money was just starting to come. Like it's not like it is now,
no.
But you came in shape, and you wanted to. So the pregame, to go along with that, everybody kind of did the same thing. You take your nap, you come in, you get yourself ready. There weren't guys playing soccer outside like they do now. They're kicking balls around. Everybody did their own thing.
Yeah.
Nobody had their earphones on listening to music. You kind of had the music was playing in the dressing room.
Yes.
You listen to that. You chat with the guys.
Yeah.
And now I witnessed as being in management what the guys do. They got to go out and got to kick the soccer ball around with 5 or 6 guys, and and there are some guys that still do their own thing, but for the most part, it's a group effort. Get loose, kick the ball around, get yourself ready. Guys get dressed. Like I would be dressed 25 minutes before, not fully dressed, but I'd be ready, have my stuff on and wait. I wouldn't tie my skates right away, but guys get dressed about 3 minutes before they're about to go on the ice.
Wow.
I can't believe it. I see them walking around, and I said, I'm going to warm up in 10 minutes. This guy's not even ready. But just a different breed of kid. So back then it was a little was different. It was different.
Any superstitions? Did you have any superstitions, left to right skates and stuff like that? Anything that you'd like to share?
Not really. I just getting dressed. Maybe at the end of warm up, I would always skate around in the corner by myself. Then I'd take one puck and I'd throw it in the net when maybe the goalie's looking the other way. I wasn't trying to have him make a save, and I don't want to upset the goalie. Yeah. So I would make sure he's looking the other way, skate over, throw one in the net, and then get off the ice.
Yeah, that's funny. That gets they're a little bit quirky.
Yes, they are. Yeah, they don't like it. They don't like pucks behind them.
No, not at all. I want to ask you, so talking hockey sticks, what was your favorite hockey stick? What did you grow up with kind of over the years?
Well, there was another change, the transition from wood to the I don't know, they called it aluminum at the time. Okay. And and then they had the blade that you'd stick in the bottom.
Yeah, replacement blade.
And replacement blade.
Yes.
But I never played with one of those. I played with wood. Yeah, I played with wood the whole time. Victoria Bill's what I used. And, trying to find the right lie and the right flex, and then that became the stick, the replacement blade, and then they graduated to know what they are now. It's $250 sticks, all one piece. Yeah, and man, oh man, I know the guys could shoot the puck back then, but they can shoot it now with those new sticks. Wow,
very light though. It's very light. It's half the weight of a wood stick. I mean,
very light, and it's got that flex and that snap. And high school kids can shoot the puck like some of the bigger kids. They can shoot it like an NHLer. Yeah. They get a hold of it with those sticks.
It was different back then. You had to have skill to shoot the puck because the sticks were heavy and they weren't easy to lift the puck as today. A lot of kids that had trouble lifting the puck. It was thin, thick blade.
You're very right. So they would curve that thing. You take the torch out, curve the blade, and then if you curve it too much, you lose the fiberglass. Yeah, right. Yeah, right. Tough to lift the puck.
Yeah. Did you ever keep any of your jerseys over the years?
Yeah, I've got a Kings, an Islanders, and a Sharks. I played for the Sharks at the end.
Oh, you did?
Yeah. Before, when I was in San Diego, I got called up to the Sharks.
Oh, nice.
So I got those jerseys and my other ones from my minor league teams.
And I messaged you. I was showing you the hockey cards of you because I collect hockey cards. And you said you already have them. I was going to send them to you. How many cards did they give you when you? So as a player, does a company like Upper Deck Tops, do they send you a box of cards specially to you, or no?
I don't know. I'm sitting here right now, and I've got a stack of and maybe just over the years. Maybe I can't really remember how I got these cards. Some people will send you 2 or 3 cards, one signed. They'll say, nice. keep one for yourself if you like. But I've got plenty. And quite honestly, I can't believe that I got 2 letters yesterday. I'm still getting them. They're finding these cards and they send them to me. And I think once you sign them, you get on kind of a list of this guy will return the cards to you, and they keep coming from all over the country and Canada. And so I find it kind of humbling. Someday they won't ask for your autograph. So you want it, I'll give it to you.
I think your rookie card's in the Upper Deck 1990. I believe it with the Islanders. That's your rookie card. And
that's what I have. I've got like 5 or 6. I don't have any Kings cards, and I don't have any Sharks cards. They're all Islander cards. There's a whole bunch of different ones. Yeah.
I think Smokey the Bear came out with a set in 88, 89. I don't know if you might be in that one. And those are pretty rare. I mean, they had a team set. It was a team set.
Huh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, maybe because they only have like a limit of like a 10,000 run or 20,000 of them printed, and that was it. But do you have a favorite card that you could tell the fans out there that you like the picture or anything like that?
I kind of like the picture where I'm almost. I remember the play too. It was Ally Euphrates in the background. It's against Toronto. It's like an action shot. He took a slashing penalty on that. He whacked me in the leg, and the puck just dribbled by. I think that's Peter Ing in the net. Oh, and I remember that. I think that's a nice card. But that's awesome. The one I guess the one I like the best is the first one I ever got. The first one I have, and I don't know what. As I look through here, I don't know what the make of it is, but I know it's the first one because I was with Kenny Baumgartner, and we were leaving the rink at the island after after a game or a practice, somebody came up and handed me the card and wanted me to sign. I said, I'd never seen one before.
Oh.
I said, I'm on a card? You got to be kidding me.
That's awesome. It's a great experience.
I won't ever forget that. Yeah.
It's a great experience. One more controversial question. So when you were with the Kings, was there any kind of disagreement between Gretzky and Robbie Fatorik, the coach, where they didn't see eye to eye? Did you ever notice that? And you don't have to answer if you don't want to.
I wasn't there. Robbie was, when I got only 4 games that year. The next year is when I made it, and Tommy Webster was the coach.
Oh, Tommy Webster. Okay.
Yeah, he was a really, really tremendous guy.
Yeah, seemed like a nice guy.
Yes.
Yeah. So on the road trip, who was your roommate? Say with the Kings and the Islanders, were they switching roommates on the road trip at all?
I had my first year when I got called up. It was Bernie Nichols was my roommate.
Oh, nice.
Because he had a single, I guess, so they stuck me in there with him. I don't know if he liked it or not. And then it was Mick Vukota.
Okay, the tough guy.
Vukota, after that I had Mick.
Yeah, that's awesome. Did Wayne Gretzky get his own hotel room on the road trips, or did he actually room like with everybody else?
He liked to be around the guys, because he's
cool.
he liked to be, because he's one of those where, do I want to talk to Wayne? Do I want to say anything to him? And he wanted to be just one of the guys, which you can see if you watch now on TNT when he does the banter between periods there. Yes. That's what he likes. Yeah. He likes to be involved in it, but nobody wants to say anything to offend him, or you don't know what to say the wrong thing. It's kind of like he's royalty.
Yeah.
So
he is the god, the greatest of all time. Yeah.
But he's a really nice guy.
Yeah.
And he's just he's one of the guys.
That's awesome. So we want to go into subject of talking about Adam Sandler. He's your childhood friend and your brother. What was he like growing up with Adam Sandler, the actor? He's one of my favorite actors, by the way.
Yeah, well, my brother was about 3 years younger than me, and Adam was his buddy, but they'd be hanging around, and Adam did play a little street hockey. We used to freeze our driveway in the winter, and we didn't play on skates, we played on our boots. So we played boot hockey out there, and that's how we kind of worked on our skills. You balance, grab the boards, and push off, and he would come out there and play, and he was an okay guy. He's an okay player, just like everybody else, and he was always a jokester. That's what Kyle said. And he still talks to him this day. He went to his wedding. He's been to the bat mitzvah and the bar mitzvah of his kids.
Nice.
He's in contact with him. I think he's actually coming to New Hampshire.
Oh, cool.
Next month he's doing a thing at the college here.
Oh, how nice.
So I know the question of Happy Gilmore always comes up. And
yes.
Adam did that movie based on my brother.
So that's the real Happy Gilmore then? Your brother's the real Happy Gilmore?
Yes, he is. The hockey playing golfer, yes.
That's awesome.
Kyle was a better hockey player than he was a golfer. Adam was a better golfer than he was a hockey player.
So did Adam ever lace up skates?
Not that I know of. I don't think so. He's really a basketball guy. He loves basketball.
He made a movie on that. What about, was his favorite team, like in Happy Gilmore, you see he likes the Bruins and Terry O'Reilly. What was his real favorite team?
He's a New York guy.
Okay.
I don't know if he likes the Rangers or not, but I know he likes the Yankees, the Knicks, and
he definitely
the New York football teams. Yeah, he's a New Yorker.
Okay. And so based on the movie, your brother's a Happy Gilmore. Was your brother coming in and running and doing like a slap shot with the golf when you guys were golfing?
No, I don't know. I think he took poetic license with that. He's just, a little comedy.
The other thing that you didn't mention, I heard of Hubie's Halloween movie that he produced or made, Adam Sandler, based on you.
You know what? I think he took the name based on my dad, actually, because I'm the third, and my dad, Hubie. But you'd have to ask Adam who he was thinking of. But that's our name, Hubie. Hubie Halloween. Honestly, I haven't even seen the movie.
Oh, really? I thought maybe he'd give you credit and throw you some money for that.
I think he filmed part of it here in New England, too.
Oh, really? Yeah. I that's what I saw. I said, it's got to be, after you. So I was going to ask you that.
Well, the name, I don't know if he's using me or my dad.
Probably you, because, he saw you around a lot, probably, with the hockey, street hockey and everything. The one more question is, if you were commissioner of the NHL, what rules would you change? or make or add?
That's a good question. You know what? Really, the one that I would, I think the hand pass is when they stop play for a hand pass.
Yes.
I would just without, you can't put it in the net, but why can't you use your hand? You can use your feet, you can use everything.
Yes.
I'm not saying you can grab the puck, but a lot of guys will just whack the puck,
yes.
and now they got to go get it. If they get it, it's okay. Mm-hmm. But if somebody on their team gets it, it's or the other team gets it, it's okay. But someone on their team take the hand pass out. Just play.
Would you do it on all three zones, you're saying? Hand pass in all three zones?
Yeah.
That'd be interesting. You know, if they're down, they just pass it behind the back or something. It'll look really good.
Yeah, you can't grab it. Just let it go.
Yeah, okay.
It's just part of the game. Like you're using your feet, you can use your head, you can use your shoulder, you can't use your hand. I'm not saying you could grab it.
Yes.
And they stop the play if they grab it and give them a penalty. So but you should be able to whack it.
Yes.
That's just me.
Would that be the only rule, or would you do anything else?
Oh, you caught me. That's the one that really sticks out because I think about it a lot. But I'd have to think a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't know. What about you? Maybe you'll jog.
I would like to go back to this square crease, so there'd be more scoring, so the goalies don't line up on their angle, and then move the goal line back 2 feet, so there's less room behind the net for play, so the pucks come out more. So it'd be more scoring.
Pucks come out of the net.
No, like you know, if you move the goal line back 2 feet, so there's less room behind the net. So there's less play behind the net, and more pucks will pop out for goals, like in the slot.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea.
Yeah, I just think that there's too much room behind it. So when they're cycling, the puck stays low, and there's not enough shots. So the people want to see a lot more action. Like bring it back to the 80s. Yeah.
Well, that's what they're trying to do they're trying to speed up the game, and they have sped up the game. They got I do like it when it goes up and down and up and down.
Right.
And, you know, back in the old days, back in the bar, they literally, I don't know if you've watched any old video. Did you ever see them where they would just take a puck, put it against the boards, and tie it up for a whistle?
Oh, yeah. We used to do that. I mean, this was common. No, they kept moving.
Now people, and I think it's affecting not only hockey, but all other sports. They're trying to speed up baseball. They're trying to speed up hockey. People want action. With a younger crowd who wants to play on their phones and do everything fast, they got to keep it moving. They got to keep everything, they got to keep it to keep people interested.
Yes, it's true. So that's the only two rules that I would change and get rid of the instigator. I'm a Swedish, but I still like the toughness of the hockey, and it's not there anymore, so that kind of bothers me. But that's
they don't. There's none of that. Really, fighting is kind of a.
It's gone.
It's gone.
Yes.
And really, I used to say that there was a guy. They would always had a guy in the lineup where he couldn't really play. He was there for something else.
Yes.
He couldn't really play. You can't have a guy like that anymore.
No, it's done.
You can't waste that spot. It's done. So there. Guys like Wilson and that's some tough guys who can handle themselves and play. You got the best of both worlds there.
Yes. I want to thank you so much for taking the time to talk to me. It's an honor to have you, an NHL player, do the interview. And we enjoy watching you over the years.
Oh, my pleasure. Thank you very much for having me. Sorry it took me so long to get back to you.
No worries.
I've been paying phone tag back and forth.
No worries. Yeah.
So,
thank you.